When it comes to copywriting, the first thing you need to do is have a deadline. If you don't have one, you make one. Most of the time, if you're working for clients, they give you a deadline. And once you get a deadline, you want to then separate that into 3 different phases, and I'm going to give you tips on each of these phases. So the first third, and this isn't a hard and fast rule, but in general, if somebody gives me an hour, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on research, and that could be a quick quick looking up of reviews and getting customer feedback or finding something. And you're going to but research is where the power in your marketing is. You know, when they did the great Domino's pizza ad campaign, the power wasn't in the wording. They could have worded that and said 30 minutes or less it's on us, half an hour it's free. The power was in knowing that people were sick and tired of not knowing when their pizza was going to arrive. And remember, and I'm going to come back to this example again, people at that time there was thousands of pizza joints saying, you know, I've got an original authentic Italian recipe, and other people going, I've got an award-winning recipe. But the real power was somebody went in and said, this is what the market's missing at this moment. And markets change. So doing research, even though you think that you know it, is really powerful. And I'm going to tell you a story about that in a second that'll prove it. Now, another third, which is coming up with the big idea and creating the first draft. And I'm going to give you some tips on doing that too, but really that's not as much talent as everybody thinks it is. It's more like doing enough research and getting a gut reaction from the research and saying, this is something that I wish I would have known earlier. This is something that, you know, will make it stand out and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you tips for all of these, a basic and an advanced tip. The final third is editing. This is where the professionalism in your marketing really does come from. Drayton is absolutely right that the top copywriters put in a lot of work, and they put in more work to every campaign than mediocre copywriters and definitely amateur copywriters. They spend more time doing research. They spend more time agonizing over this word. They'll take a word and they'll rephrase it, and then I don't know if I like it, and they'll rephrase it back. They will let the copy sit, come back to it another day, look at it again with fresh eyes, and they agonize over the words. And the best copywriters in the world, you know, the difference between their first draft, which has got a lot of great, you know, marketing gold in it. It's like mining. It's like taking a bunch of dirt out of the ground and sifting it for the biggest nuggets of gems you can, and then you're brushing it off, and the middle part is like finding this is the biggest raw diamond, this is the stuff that's really powerful, and then slowly chipping at it until the diamond comes out and shines. And if anybody's seen a raw diamond, it looks like a hunk of quartz or something. But when it's shined and it's chipped and it's perfect, that professionalism comes in the editing phase. And I'm going to give you some tips on that.